Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort, Ashton, and this is the week in review. I'm gonna shoot straight with you guys. I'm hoping this is a shorter episode. Ash and I are in the midst of our Stranger Things rewatch, and I'm really psyched to get back to it. And so we'll just begin right away with our wrestling section. And there are only really four, I think four, topics of interest that I want to talk about. Very quickly, just the continuation of the Tatum Fatal Influence, Izzy Dame kind of story. There was a tag match this week. Tatum, Lola, and Izzy versus Fatal Influence, and JC pinned Izzy after Izzy took an encore kind of forearm for Tatum. So I still think that Izzy ultimately is going to be the next NXT Women's Champion. And here's the thing. I am all for that. I think Izzy has really come into her own, as I've said the last few weeks, in this culling angle. And honestly, I think not that this wasn't meaningful for Tatum to be NXT Women's Champion, but the title reign I'm really hopefully looking forward to one day is her winning women's tag gold with Lyra. Because I think there's a real story there of those two finally achieving that summit together as friends and whatnot. So yeah, that quick thing that is still progressing interestingly. I'll be curious when JC gets her rematch against Tatum, how that match will be. But then we get to just the other part of NXT that I have interest in. I have to give Ricky Saints and Trick Williams credit. They had a really well done brawling segment this week before their last man standing match this coming Tuesday. It was very convincing. I love the opening because Ricky, with a steel pipe, just immediately swings for Trick, and Trick ducks, and they start fighting. So it felt like there was an urgency, and they weren't fooling around and this and that. Trick ultimately gets the better because he gets a steel pipe in Ricky's midsection and he lays him out. I thought it was great intensity for their last man standing match next week. Now for the two meatier topics, and again, you can see I'm going through these very quickly. Chelsea Green is Women's United States Champion again. She beat Julia. I was shocked. So now both her and Ethan Page are double champions because they're AAA mixed tag champs together. Ethan, as we know, is the North American champion. And now Chelsea Green is a two-time Women's United States champion. I mean, I love Chelsea Green. I hope that this means Julia can ascend to the main event level. I haven't watched the product in so long, so I have no idea. Because this is only YouTube clips, understand. So I have no idea what the crowd reception is to Julia or anything else. But I hope she does get to that world championship scene. And then really, I hope Chelsea gets there herself one day. I've been saying for the last couple of years at minimum, I think Chelsea is a main event level talent in the women's division. I think she could be a top fucking babyface. I think this crowd wants to root for her. I think they're behind her. I remember even like several months ago when her and Ethan had that mixed tag match against Tyra May Steele, and oh god, I'm blanking on his name. Fucking
Tavion Heights?
beg pardon.
Tavion Heights?
Tavion Heights, yes. And the crowd was so behind Chelsea that Ethan even had to get on the microphone and be like, "This doesn't grant you Canadian citizenship or whatever." Like, this crowd wants Chelsea Green. They want to cheer for Chelsea Green. And so I still hope she gets that main event push she deserves. And then finally, what to me was the most interesting thing, we got Lash Legends, I guess official SmackDown debut. I know she's been on SmackDown before, but this felt like a main roster call up to me. Nia Jax beat Charlotte Flair. I think Alexa at one point was trying to help Charlotte the way that Charlotte helped Alexa last week. And Lash comes through and she pretty much gets Alexa in a chokehold, kind of, swinging her around. And then Nia gets the Annihilator on Charlotte and gets the win. So it seems like Lash and Nia are a tag team. I really don't care for Nia. That is very well documented. But if these two were to win the women's tag titles, focusing purely on Lash, sure. I will say I am disappointed in her NXT run just because I feel like she never really got a chance to be in a main event program with the world champion. Not to mention, I really feel like there was a time when I thought Lash was going to be babyface and she could have been hella over. I don't think we ever really got to experiment with Lash as a babyface. So these are two things I would like to see corrected in her main roster run. Her being in the main event scene, maybe even winning one of the world titles, because it wouldn't take much convincing in my mind, and then seeing her have a babyface run. So that's really all I want to talk about wrestling wise. I really couldn't give two shits about anything else, to be perfectly honest with you. And of course, just from an obligatory standpoint, I'm going to hand it over to Ashton, but I know you've been saying no the last few weeks. Is there anything you want to talk about or anything you've watched?
I'm a little bit worried about Julia, if you want the truth, because I I think my main concern is that she's just not getting over at all. Period.
Right.
Um, from what I understand, Chelsea beat her with her feet on the ropes.
She did. That is correct.
So it's not like they buried Julia by any means. It's not like they just had Chelsea go out there and destroy her or even like roll her up and beat her by catching her. She did cheat to win, which would tell me that they're going to have Julia go face, which would also kind of imply that they're going to take Kiana James away from her.
Yeah, you
And
would think. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work out or not. I'm not super duper invested in anything wrestling related, especially WWE related right now, but I do like Julia a lot, and I do want to see her succeed in the United States. And I just am worried um, that WWE has no clue what to do with her, and they don't want to turn her into a killer, which is what she was in Japan. So they can't really figure out how to book her, and it's pretty unfortunate.
I mean, bro, the wrestling world is so crazy in this day and age. I really wouldn't be, and look, I'm just being honest here the way you were being honest. I wouldn't be surprised if, I'll even give it 3 years, if Julia kind of went the way of Sari and just ended up either independent contracting or just going back to Monogold because she seemed to really love Monogold before she left.
That would be insane.
And like if Julia
Especially
came back to
because,
Monogold,
like with
yeah,
TNA, like when people go to TNA and then get featured on NXT, because like Mario Gold and WWE are kind of in bed together a little bit.
that is true. That is true. And maybe, she goes back and then maybe she would come back to WWE. You never know with wrestlers anymore, man. You really it's like the wild fucking west out here.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about on the wrestling side?
No.
Okay, so let's very quickly get to politics. I have to open with this
Dude, we have a
because
lot of politics to talk about because it was just election day on Tuesday.
it was election day on Tuesday, but we need to talk about this because this shows you just how scared I think Republicans are of the results, especially of Mamdani winning the mayoralship of New York, which, side note, I have never seen this much hubbub about any mayor election ever.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Like, it's insane. But, so guys, before we went live, I saw, just from a page recommended to me by the algorithm, um, something that I had to verify because I'm like, oh my God, is this real? I didn't even tell Ashton what it was because I wanted to like get his live reaction to this. Bro, the official White House website has put out a presidential action calling for an anti-communism week from
Oh
November
fuck.
2nd through November 8th officially. They're like, henceforth, from this time to this time, it's anti-communism week. And that tells me, man, that propaganda to me, time's fucking running out. Like I had, and I'm gonna plug him here because I think it was a nice conversation. But I was talking to Just Alex, YouTube personality, also on TikTok, does raw cognizance. He asked me, he's like, bro, how do you feel about the elections, that happened? And I said, look, brother, I'm gonna shoot straight with you. I'm done with the Democrats. Like I've been like the last time I really had hope in a Democrat that I gave myself to was Bernie Sanders. And you all know, people that are in the Discord and poor Ashton here, that it was pulling teeth to convince me to vote for Kamala because I thought then and I think now she's a piece of shit. And she didn't really condemn genocide hard enough. And I really never forgave the entire Democratic establishment for not having one Palestinian voice at the fucking DNC. Well, I got to tell you, folks, it's really done great things for my mental health. One, the Dick Cheney dropped dead, which we have a Q&A question about later from Super Blue, so I'm going to table that for now. So him dropping dead and just people, when you focus on the voting base, because that's what I told Just Alex, I'm like, you need to focus on the voting base. Dems won overwhelmingly, even in races that Republicans thought were a shoo-in. That Trump in the 2024 election won by like plus 20, right? Or plus 25 even. And like Dems are taking them. And it's because people realize, and then this is the first good thing, and then there's another good thing that may bode poorly for the Democrats, as we'll get to in a second. They're realizing that far-right politics fucking sucks. And we already knew that. Anybody that studies history, anybody that knows, what conservatism is really like and this and that, which, I understand is not a lot of people because they have lives to live and jobs to do and this and that. I'm very privileged in a weird way being permanently disabled because I have a lot of time on my hands to research and do that. We know right wing austerity politics sucks for everybody except the fucking billionaire class. Always has. Same way neoliberalism sucks for everybody except the billionaire class. Um, so people are recognizing that and they're rejecting this. I don't even really think the rejection, if we're being honest and sober in our analysis, comes from any principled place of like, protecting migrants or protecting trans people. It's all economic. It's all fiscal. People are feeling the pain at the grocery stores. SNAP is in a confusing place. Now, my state, SNAP apparently went out. I'm curious for any of you if you got notices from your like SNAP equivalent organization, if your SNAP went out. Mine did, thankfully, but still, millions are kind of in this precarity. We already knew even before Trump went into office that people were taking out loans to pay for groceries. The president of GoFundMe said that fundraisers for essentials have skyrocketed. People doing fundraisers for everything from like car insurance to groceries. Again, going back to groceries, uh, which Trump apparently claims is like a newer word or something. I'm telling you, his dementia is fucking unbelievable. Um, so we're seeing this. We're seeing on an economic standpoint a rejection of these politics. Then comes a guy like Mamdani, which I love how the Democratic establishment is like he only beat one candidate. He beat two candidates decisively. He beat an independent in Cuomo, who had really no business being there because he already got spanked in the primary. But of course, he's a nepo baby, and he's like, no, I want to be mayor. And you lost your governorship in disgrace, and now you can't even win a mayoral race. You're fucking cooked. Your political career is over. And then Sliwa, who was weird. And I don't think people are really getting on him enough. I think maybe they kind of appreciate him for kind of splitting the Cuomo vote just a little bit and just kind of telling Cuomo to go fuck himself. But Mamdani beat both these guys handily. You could have even taken Sliwa out of the equation. Wouldn't have saved Cuomo at all. I mean, the gap was just that large. And why? Because he ran one of the best campaigns I've seen. It was the campaign I wanted Kamala to run all three acts, right? She did it in Act One and kind of in Act Two, but then when she started doing the Liz Cheney shit and I'll be tough on the border too, you lost people. And here's the crazy thing, and I'm glad I remembered this stat because I know it surprised you too, bro. The campaign that Mamdani ran and his team, and credit to his team, because I don't think the people behind the scenes get enough credit. Whoever was running his social media, whoever kept him on message, give them whatever raise they fucking want because they really won this fucking thing for him and for all of us that believe in the values that he rhetorically espouses. He won 9% of Trump voters from 2024. Kamala, this whole thing was like, let's poach the Republican base. They only got like 1% of the base. He got 9 because he focused on the economic issues. He focused on the fiscal issues. And it was very clear. I want to do free buses. I want to do rent freezes. I want to do public grocery stores. Now, I'm curious if he'll be able to do any of this stuff as mayor. See, I almost wish that, in a world like maybe he would be governor, because we'll get to Kathy Hochul in a second, because this just shows Democrats have learned nothing. Because I feel like as governor, he'd have far more ability to do this, but we'll see if he can accomplish it. And here's the thing, I think because the voters want it so much, you get that voter pressure along with Mamdani, like still talking about it. Maybe they'll get at least one of those things done. I would like to see the public grocery stores if I had to pick one. That's the most exciting option to me because the thing is, if even one of these policies gets off the ground and it works, that's a domino effect to me, potentially. I never want to speak in absolutes. I think it has the potential to be a domino effect. Um, so his win symbolically is huge because it shows people are done. Like, you can't say woke anymore. It's a bunch of bullshit because, and you and I have been saying this for years. And again, anybody that really has their thumb on the scale knows this. Right wing politics is nothing. Like, it has no actual ideas. Literally, and I know this is kind of a caricature in a way, but I mean, let's be honest, not really. Right wing politics amounts to let's hate harder. If we just hate this group harder, everything else will fall into place. Oh, and give tax cuts for the wealthy because, they still believe in that trickle down bullshit. Or they want you to still believe that
No,
trickle
they
down
don't
bullshit.
actually believe in it. They know damn well that all of that wealth going to the top stays there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But now people, I think, are waking up. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the two
I mean,
concerns
you
that I mentioned.
mentioned waking up. I mean, the fact that you mentioned that they had something about an anti-communist week on the government's like White House website is crazy because like there are plenty of Democratic voters who think they dislike communism, who see that coming from Trump's White House and are going to be like, wait, what? Trump hates communism? Trump's not right about anything. I don't like anything that Trump likes. So maybe I should look further into this communism stuff and find out if I've just been wrong this whole time.
And this is why now I'm gonna try and say this next part without sounding smug, which coming from me is kind of difficulty impossible, but I'm going to try anyway. This is the fundamental problem with liberalism to me, and why I told just Alex, who, I've had a few really nice political conversations with him lately, because I think we agree more on than what I realized, which is nice. But what I really dislike about liberalism and the establishment liberals, because I really don't want to snipe at the voting base. The voting base is doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Keep it up. Is they don't really have a theory of anything. Like why I dog on Aaron Sorkin. For those who don't know, Aaron Sorkin was the creator of The West Wing and The Newsroom. And God, are both properties insufferable. But like Aaron
I
Sorkin
still
really.
appreciate that Jeff Daniels rant from the newsroom.
Yes, that's one of the few really good things across both properties. Jeff Daniels is great, but I mean, let's remember the newsroom is also the one where he shakes the hand of the pilot because he's like, "We reported the news about Osama bin Laden dying," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ!" Aaron Sorkin
Oh God, I
also,
didn't realize that was the same show. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I
Jeff
love what I,
Daniels, Jeff Daniels is kind of endearing because he's always reminded me of Joey from Full House, Joey Gladstone.
yeah, no, I see it, I see it. I'm sure Dave Coulier sees it as well.
Dave Coulier,
Um,
that's the guy. Yeah, Jeff Daniels and Dave Coulier have such similar vibes to me. I don't know.
Completely like, well, kind of
I
related, but
think
not like,
I
yeah.
apologize for cutting you off. Just one last thing. I think that as a kid, when I watched Dumb and Dumber, I thought that it was Joey playing Harry.
Oh, oh wow. You know what? I don't blame you. I don't
Yeah.
blame you. Imagine my shock. Just give Dave Coulier his props. My favorite role of his was being Reagan on China, Illinois, that animated show that I love. He does
Oh
an
God.
insane Reagan impression. It's
And dude, the
unbelievable.
crazy thing is, when Full House first started, Reagan actually was president.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no, I love telling you Aaron Sorkin things because it always takes you by surprise, and then you're just like, oh God. And then I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I just the
liberalism.
caucasity.
Yeah, yeah, that's liberalism for you in a nutshell. Because that's the thing. Like when I mention Aaron Sorkin, I know that was the other thing I want to say. He's also a guy, and I shit you not, this is real. And the New York Times is kind of legendary for this because it's definitely like an establishment, like pro-imperialist status
Yeah.
quo publication. Like I'll never forget the video where Bernie Sanders was like talking in the newsroom of the New York Times about his plan, and the looks of disgust across all their faces, like. We like the wealthy in this house. Get the fuck out. So they tell on themselves. But in the same week, they had one editorial run by a woman saying we need to get over our West Wing fantasy, which I agree with. But then they ran an op-ed by Ann Sorkin, um, and or Aaron Sorkin. God, I got those down. I wanted to say Aaron and then Ann. Aaron Sorkin, saying that the Democrats needed to nominate Mitt
Mitt
Romney
Romney, I
for
remember.
2024. was Jesus Christ. So that's Aaron Sorkin. And why I say that is liberalism really, like, he's the perfect like personification of it because they don't have a theory of anything. And what I mean by that is when you ask a liberal what the problem is, they will tell you more often than not, the institutions are great. We just need better people running them. Like when Obama's like, you got to go out and vote harder, to his credit, that is the quintessence of liberalism. Vote harder, do nothing else. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, maybe organize, go for the people you vote for, this and that, but like, don't fundamentally challenge the system, right? And we're seeing a wave of people now, the voting base, that are like, nah, chief, the system's pretty fucking sus, because like, I'm still I'm still starving out here. Inflation's still rising. Wages fucking suck. We should be talking about $30 an hour minimum wage. Democrats are only now really starting to embrace $15 an hour. You missed that boat like what, 8 years ago? I don't want to be
Dude,
hyperbolic, but like,
closer to
yeah,
20. I want to say Hillary was starting to talk about Fight for 15 in 2008.
yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. Um, so yeah, now that's like a party thing. Like, oh, $15 a motherfucker. Look at prices. Go to a grocery store. Go on Zillow. I beg you.
Oh, you
Fuck.
know what? I was one presidential election too early. It was 2012, not 2008.
Okay. Okay. But
Still
even
though,
so,
that's
yeah,
13 fucking years ago.
yeah, exactly. And this is what I mean. Like communism, and this is why they're so afraid of it because fundamentally, and I know I have arguments with like Shay about it and this and that, and I still want to know what people's problem is with the idea of public ownership, because I'll tell you, the U.S. obviously has a problem when Venezuela wants to democratically control their oil, which is why, by the way, I don't know if we mentioned this on the show, but when Castor Sales asked us about Nigeria, I didn't know much then. I know now. They're using the persecution of Christians as a pretext. Why? Because Nigeria recently voted to nationalize their oil. Isn't that fucking convenient? Um, so
Dude, I would love to see the Congo do something similar with their raw minerals because they have so much wealth that
oh,
they
dude,
just
yeah,
don't have any claim to. It's unbelievable.
dude, it is insane to me, like, because I believe, well, I mean, I know Venezuela and stuff like that's part of like, Latin America and stuff like that, and I believe Nigeria is part of the African
Yes,
continent
yes,
as well as
Nigeria
the
is in Africa.
and as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
it is. Yep.
And I only say that. Let me just say this for the future. I am a white guy, but I'm also very geographically challenged. So I never mean any offense. And if anybody ever wants to correct me, like, oh, it's here, I will profusely apologize and correct the record. So I'm glad I got it right in this instance. But what I was going to say was, bro, if the African continent could ever just tell the U.S. empire to fuck off,
The
we
British Empire and the U.S. Empire and the French, like, there's literally like all different places around the world basically have ownership slash claim to resources in African countries.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one historical, because I've started to read more Black philosophy, although I am way behind. I'm hoping tomorrow I get some quality time with the Fanon that I'm reading. One piece of Black history that I want to read is the Haitian Revolution against the French colonizers, because most people don't know this. And see, this is why public education, it's important, obviously, and I hate what they're doing to education, but let's be real. Again, it shores up the status quo, because why Napoleon even sold Louisiana is because they were fucking bleeding financially from the Haitian revolt. Colonialism was costing them too much fucking money. That's
Yeah.
why they sold fucking Louisiana. So like this is why white mythos is so fucking stupid and like, oh, white power and white supremacy. Y'all are fucking pathetic, because when you really look at it, black people are some of the most badass fucking people in history. Like slavery and everything else, and they come out on the other side not only fighting their fucking colonizers, but still succeeding in a system that wasn't even built for them, because they get even a taste of equality, and look at what they do with it compared to like the average fucking privileged person. Y'all are a fucking joke. Um, but like, yeah, no, Haitian Revolution, they fucking drove those colonizers out, and it was beautiful. I'd love to see the same thing in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'd love to see Nigeria successfully nationalize their oil. And look, this is why, even though nations that I'm worried about, like Russia, are a part of BRICS, I can't lie, I'm rooting for BRICS. I feel like part of global progress is being able to de-dollarize the world, because that financial hegemony of you have to trade in our currency, that is a lot of excess power for an empire that has done a lot of insidious fucking shit. And I'm sorry, like we're gonna have to get used sooner or later, and it's looking like sooner under this regime. We're gonna have to get used to living a different way. And I'm willing to make those adjustments if it means other people get the fucking boot off their neck. It's ridiculous. So yeah, this anti-communism week, to bring it full circle, they're shaking in their boots, but yet at the same time, they're so sociopathic and so fucking psychopathic. They're still gonna do the same shit. Maybe don't advertise the fucking renovations you're making. Maybe don't flaunt the parties you're having, like this Great Gatsby fucking party and this and that, with all this food and glitz and glamour while people are fucking starving. I have been saying it is French Revolution shit. And Democrats, and this is where I was almost about to let her off the hook just from my memory. Kathy Hochul and establishment Dems have not learned a fucking thing, because she made a trip to Puerto Rico, because as you pointed out on Discord, New York has a very large Puerto Rican demographic, and she was greeted with chants of tax the rich, tax the rich. Now, I want to quote her exactly here, because I don't want to take even a word out of context. She said, and I quote, I hear you, and that she's the type of person who, quote, the more you push me, the less I'm going to do what you want. Woman, you are an elected official. You are not me or Ashton and or a child. Okay? Like, don't give me this. What is it? Because I called it oppositional defiance disorder, but I know that's not the actual term. What is it again?
Oh, fuck.
Pathological demand avoidance, right?
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
don't give me that ODD or PDA bullshit, whichever you fucking prefer. You are an elected official, lady. These are your fucking like, again. large Puerto Rican demographic in New York. And also, by the way, while we're speaking of territories and places like Nigeria and Democratic Republic, Republic of Congo that deserve a lot better, Puerto Rico as a U.S. territory deserves a
Dude,
hell of a lot fucking
it is
better.
insane how many racist white people in the U.S. are trying to say that Bad Bunny is not a citizen of the U.S. because he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
Like, you know, the whole thing with him being the halftime performer at the Super Bowl this coming year.
yeah,
People
yeah.
are really trying to say, deport him. Deport him where? Back to his home island that is a part of the United States? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Crystal Ball even schooled Tommy Lahren a few weeks ago on this. She's like,
Oh, God.
y- like he should like leave America or should like go back to Puerto Rico. And then Crystal was like, Puerto Rico is a part of America, sweetie. And like it just kind of stun locked her because they can only process so many bigotries per minute. So like,
Jesus Christ.
dude, it is it is horrible. But I will say
The
this too,
glorification of ignorance in this country is going to be our actual downfall.
dude, 1000%. 1000%. I will say the last glimmer of hope that the election results give me, just to editorialize a little bit before we move on to pop culture, because again, I did want this to be a shorter episode, but it seems like politics is just always the longest section. I apologize, because I know that's on me. Um, these election results also make me fear Nick Fuentes a little less. Now, let's be clear, we shouldn't stay calm about Nick Fuentes. He kind of has the GOP by the fucking balls. At least if X is anything to go by, because anybody he wants to ratio, he seemingly does with fucking ease. And now Tucker Carlson platformed him recently, and other people feel the need to talk about him, even kind of subtweet him, like Ted Cruz. So Nick Fuentes to me is still a dangerous figure. However, why do I say that I'm relaxed a little bit? Well, because he's virtually no different from Trumpism, and they're already rejecting Trumpism. If anything, he's Trumpism that maybe goes a little bit further, but I don't know how you go further when you're already doing the concentration camps and the deportations. Not to mention, I think he slipped up recently because I saw a clip from his show, courtesy of Psycho Talk, because Kyle has covered just how unhinged Fuentes is, several times. And Fuentes, who at first, which is very appealing to MAGA, was, that American isolationist foreign policy. No new wars. We have war fatigue. We're fucking over it because we know that war, like, you can't sell us on this idea of a just war. There's no such thing. Certainly not when it's offensive against people that didn't even aggress upon us.
Bro,
But I'm not going to get
Fox
into all.
News can sell their base on fucking anything. They literally sold them on war with Iran already.
That is true. Yeah, sorry. That is true. But and this also taught me that how you phrase a question and how you pose an issue fucking matters. Because when you posed doing things with Iran a certain way, there was very low approval. Like, if you use the word like strike or just war outright or whatever. But if you phrased it as, should we stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons? The approval goes up, see? So rhetoric matters. I've been wanting to
Yeah,
say this.
fear
Yeah.
mongering.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though and this is going to be one of my potentially hotter takes, I don't think with this audience, but certainly for pearl clutchers, I do think Iran should have a nuclear weapon. I think in fact, if anything, I'm more horrified because Israel has nuclear weapons. And I don't know, have you seen what they've been doing lately? Just putting that out there.
Oh, you mean the genocide?
Oh yeah, yeah, that. Um, so yeah, Israel has fucking nuclear weapons. The US has nuclear weapons. The nuclear powers are the terrorizers. Countries that don't have nuclear weapons, I'm not saying you can't do bad shit, but like the ones that are like, oh, we should be the only ones to have nuclear weapons. Funny that you're doing the most odious shit. Just again, putting that out there. So, you know,
Whenever you call something odious, it makes me think that it's stinky.
no, well, it is, bud. It is. But where Nick Fuentes fucked up, I think, and again, you're right, you can sell people on anything, but I don't really know. We'll see, right? But he said, like, oh, we should be able to go to Venezuela and take their oil and everything else. And somebody in his own chat, to their credit, said, I forget what exactly they said, but they pretty much phrased it as, how would war be different because it always just seems to benefit the corporations. And then Fuentes, he starts his rebuttal with, that's completely wrong. No, it isn't. No, it fucking isn't. And I think your base knows that it isn't. So this also taught me too that for even the people that seem like they're ideologically pure on the right, like, oh, I care about the race and I care about the country. I'll tell you what it is at bottom from this man's opinion, and take it for whatever it is. I'm just a loudmouth that sits in a comfortable chair far away from everything on his computer. It's resentment and it's entitlement. Fuentes doesn't hate Trump and he doesn't hate corporations. He wants their wealth. He wants to be them. He wants the wealth and the power. What he hates is that it's not him. The same way that any figurehead that's like, oh, I'm really working class. I'm really populist. I really. No, the fuck you're not. You're coping and you're seething because the power that you see these people flaunt, the parties, the unaccountability, everything, you want that. You want that. And so his war rhetoric, that just tells me, oh, well, because you want to get in power to where you'd be able to profit from the war industry. That's why you're not going to cut it off because you know how fucking profitable it is and you want your beak wet. So fuck you. Fuck everybody that thinks like you because really it's just crabs in a fucking barrel, right? And the unfortunate thing is that all of us fucking pay for it. And that's the thing. And look, I agree with Rotten Butter, just to touch back on this very quickly. I also would love complete nuclear disarmament. But I think countries, especially countries that are historic victims of imperialism, because the Middle East, for their oil reserves and everything else, they sure as fuck should have nuclear weapons. Why? Because it's a fucking deterrent. Because then the US may think twice before they try and come in and steal resources that belong to a sovereign fucking people. That's what really should happen first. I mean, I again agree about nuclear disarmament, but let's not act like we're not an arrogant fucking nation. Like the idea that we talk about, like we should just go in and take Venezuela's oil. What? They're a sovereign fucking people, and you're telling me that they don't have energy needs? The arrogance really makes me sick. Like
Dude,
honestly, like
that is literally the core of at least American conservatism
yeah,
is an inane selfishness and an unwillingness to empathize or be compassionate towards or relate to anyone that doesn't look or think like you.
exactly,
Like that's the
exactly.
that's the core of it. Like there are conservatives who are pro trans because they know a trans person and they realize that they're a good person and that makes them open their eyes to like, oh man, wow, I guess trans people aren't all bad the end of the day. Like these conservative people, it's like they need to have their fucking hand held in order to have compassion for people that they don't look or think like.
And dude, I just need to dunk on liberals one more time because I mean you said it perfectly there on the conservatives. I'm already starting to see the whitewashing of fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene happen in real time.
Oh
And
my
like I
god,
want to
dude.
fucking retch because it's
Every
like
time someone tries to make her seem like she is a normal or average or even just sane person, bring up the Jewish space lasers.
dude, I scream it internally because she was on The View recently.
Oh
And
fuck!
like
Why would they platform her?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the because they're trying to
Well,
make her
The View
palatable.
has fucking Megan what's her face on there too. That was the Megan McCain. That's her name. That was
That
fucking what's his face's with the fucking
John McCain.
tumor. Yeah, his daughter.
Yeah. I love that you
Yeah.
said tumor to try and remember.
Well, I mean, he had the big fucking tumor that killed him, and that's like, yeah, like he kind of was a tumor in his own right too. But anyway, she's probably got some pull there, and she's probably the reason they had fucking Marge on because
I
everyone
do have
else on that panel, from what I understand, is at least liberal, if not further left.
I do have to correct you. She hasn't been a part of the View for several years.
So who's the
Um,
replacement blonde conservative woman that they got to replace her?
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, she was on and she's kind of making the rounds and like all because she disagrees with Trump about like the healthcare subsidies and allegedly about like, you know, the Argentinian bailout, which again, they got 40 billion fucking dollars. And this and that, but it's like again, like you said, Jewish space lasers. And even if these people, I need people. And again, this is not the voting base. The voting base, again, you're doing amazing, sweetie. Keep on your trajectory. You got the president to put on a notice about anti-communism week. You are I really could not ask for more, being realistic, because I also know that I need to temper my expectations a lot. And I think I've done a better job, and you're doing great. The establishment, though, and the bigger figureheads that actually have platforms, do better. What the fuck are like just because somebody rhetorically is posturing more progressive, she still said on The View, like, oh, Trump's my favorite president and I love Trump and this and that. Like, they're not your friends. Nobody actually pursuing power is your friend. I don't know who this woman was whose TikTok I shared or whatever, but she said, I need liberals to wake up. It's not the West Wing, it's Game of Thrones. Okay? Like, it's a very small club. You're not fucking in it. They don't care if you live or die. And we all need more than ever solidarity with each other.
Oh, I
So
found the woman that they got to replace Meghan McCain as the uh, obvious sort of token conservative of the panel, and surprisingly, she's not even blonde, but she is a former Donald Trump staffer. She was the White House Director of Strategic Communications and Assistant to the President in 2020 during the last year of Trump's presidency and the fucking COVID year. Her name's
yeah,
Alyssa Farah Griffin. So she's probably the one that wanted to reach out to Marge.
okay. One last quick story on politics, which is like not necessarily a fun one. I actually apparently learned that this guy was a pharmaceutical rep. Um, there was a weird incident in the Oval Office this week where they were
The
giving
guy
a
who
speech.
passed out,
The guy who passed out, yeah, and then RFK ran out of the fucking room.
and Donald
Trump,
Trump was just standing there at his desk, just kind of chilling, like, oh well, these things happen, whatever.
he just had this look on his face, like, tell me when it gets back to me.
Exactly. Well,
Uh,
tell me when it gets back to business as usual, so I can go back to doing my thing.
I'm telling you, like, that perfect image to cap off his second term so far. Just one guy running out of the room who's the fucking health secretary, the head of the HHS.
He said, "Oh shit, not my fault. I'm out."
He saw that guy was like, "Is this autism? Did you take the riboflavin?" And then he just darted out of the fucking room. Um, so that's what fucking happened there, and that's pretty much politics. There is a Dem wave. It doesn't bode well for the Republicans come the midterms. But here's the thing: again, don't be a Kathy Hochul, don't be a Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries. I'm telling, and like AOC apparently even said it recently. You either get with the agenda that's actually winning, or you get left behind. And let me be clear about this as somebody even further left, because this is our podcast. We're not beholden to any advertiser, any entity or organization. Stay sus on the Dem socialists too, and at the very least, stay on their fucking neck. When they tell you they're going to do something, you use your power to harass the people that are stopping them from doing it, but also them to make sure they uphold their promises. The power lies with us. Nothing happens without us, which is why I've been begging for a general strike. Because this same economy that funds the deportations and the concentration camps and the wars that Trump wants to start, it's generated by the labor power of the people that are starving, of the people that are increasingly getting dispossessed by the fucking day, right? It's us. It's all of us together. Um, and yeah, just keep doing whatever you can. I'm still waiting to kind of make some more moves myself, getting more involved. I've been, kind of waiting to see how my money shakes out. I think going into next year, I'm going to start contributing to food pantries more. Would like to contribute to Palestine for Children's Relief again and all that stuff, because we need to take care of each other, and that goes beyond our borders. Like I really want a new foreign policy, a new, like, and that's the thing. That's why right wingers, and I kind of realize this too, why they hate globalism is because the infrastructure is already there for an age of unprecedented global cooperation. Like, I feel like the way we're all interconnected economically should, in theory, make war obsolete. Like, there's no fucking reason for it. Like, cooperation, like, again, the infrastructure is already fucking there. Oh, you need this? Cool, we need this. How about we help you out, and then you can help us out at such and such time? Like, I believe in that. In fact, funny fucking thing, that apparently was the original dream of liberalism. Why capitalism succeeded, at least in the mind of liberals, they were like, oh, this is going to be so great. This is going to replace war. Well, that aged like fucking milk. But I still believe that a cooperative foreign policy
Well, the thing
is the
about
better way
that
to go.
that you didn't really bring up that they wanted to kind of keep hidden under the rug was, all of us capitalist nations can have the fair trade that John was just talking about. But if you try and do something other than capitalism, we're going to destroy you.
Oh my God, sir, we have a huge crisis. My poll numbers are down. Even worse. A nation that isn't us is trying to nationalize their oil and keep it from us. Mother of God.
Well,
So yeah,
you know the drill. Disrupt.
yeah, disrupt, install a puppet dictator, like the woman. Um, what is her name? I'm not even going to try and say because I know I'd get it wrong. But the Venezuelan woman that's the opposition leader to
Oh
Maduro,
yeah.
that won the Nobel Prize. She's fucking off her rocker. Like because first of all, when she won, she dedicated the prize to Trump, and then she apparently did an interview with somebody. I think somebody from the BBC or something. Um, she was like, "Oh yeah, Maduro definitely tried to rig the election against Trump." Are you fucking insane? Like, I just Death to the American Empire and its auxiliaries, please. Like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But yeah, that's politics. Take hope in the fact that it's not just a blue wave, but we have to be specific. This wasn't your centrist fucking Dem that your grandfather would have maybe
I
fucking
mean,
voted
some of
for.
them are like some of the
Some of
new
them.
governors, etc.
But I'm talking like
Plus,
really,
we
you're
still
right.
literally have a Republic or a Democratic House of Representatives member who hasn't been sworn in through 6 fucking weeks now.
Yeah.
They only get 104 weeks to be in, before they have to run again and get reelected. She's been there for 6, and they haven't sworn her in yet. That's over 5% of her fucking term.
Yeah. Honestly, I know this might set a negative precedent, but like depending on how long it fucking takes, I'd be like, no, I want to serve the time that I lost. I want to reclaim time, and then we can hold the election later. Hold it after I fully serve a fucking term. I never got to fully serve a term because I got sworn in late. So I don't
I
know,
mean,
but I
she
mean,
would have been sworn in late regardless because her election was back in, like, I want to say September,
yeah,
rather than like the usual, you get voted in November and you get sworn in January kind of thing that we would have had if she would have won her election back in November of 2024. But I'm pretty sure that she won in a district where the previous representative literally fucking died.
yeah.
So they had to do a special election to replace that person. And now Mike Johnson just says, no, we're not replacing that person with anyone. What do you mean
And
someone got elected? That district doesn't count. What are you talking about?
exactly, and it's
Fucking
Epstein,
bullshit.
it's cruelty, it's dispossessing
Dude, I
voters.
feel like so much has been going on with the Dems winning the elections that I feel like people are taking their eye off the ball with the Epstein stuff. Like, people are forgetting about it.
No, I think it's funny the different corners of like online and stuff that we observe because from my corner people are still like keeping their eye on the ball, but I'm also not surprised that people are getting
South
swept up.
Park's going to make sure that we don't forget because as soon as Satan gives birth,
Yeah,
it's going to bring the Epstein files back up.
absolutely. But I do just want to say in closing that Ashton is correct that Centrist Dem still won, but I think one of the most impressive victories came from Mamdani, and he is definitely more socially progressive, more fiscally progressive than most Dems.
Yeah,
And it's funny because even at the party, the victory party they had for him, Chuck Schumer was not there and Hakeem Jeffries was not there. And
that's not
they are,
surprising.
yeah, they are congressional leadership for the Dems. They need to be fucking
Are those guys
replaced.
both senators?
I believe so,
Booker
yes.
and Schumer? Yeah, so those are the two New York senators, and they weren't there for the mayor to have his little victory party. It's not
Yeah.
surprising. They probably were pulling for Cuomo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And
What's
again,
really funny too is that I bet you that if Sliwa would not have stayed in the race and if he would have dropped out, I don't think that all of the people who voted for him would have just automatically transferred their vote to Cuomo. I really
no
don't. I
way.
think there's a very real chance that Mamdani would have won by a similarly, not as, but similarly wide margin that he actually ended up winning by.
I mean, bro, like from my understanding, he beat two guys with a 50% fucking margin, and
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's
yeah, because
insane.
he put up like 50, I want to say 0.4% of the vote, which means that
Yeah.
even if you were to add all of Sliwa's votes to Cuomo, he still wouldn't have got caught Mamdani. But
Yeah.
again, my main point is that that wouldn't have been how it would have gone. If Sliwa would have dropped out of the race, it's not like it would have been 50.4 to 49.6. It would have been like 52 to 48, 53 to 47, something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, Cuomo was cooked. His campaign was shit.
Yeah.
He's shit. And again, like Mamdani, he's an excellent debater, and it's alleged that privately Trump even sees how talented he is because he even said like, oh, he's good looking, he's a great speaker. Like, how is it? See, and I never like want to say the wrong thing here because I know what the real answer actually is, but I'm asking rhetorically, how is it that Trump has better political instincts than Dem leadership? Because Dem leadership, they're just plugging their ears and they still want to do neoliberalism. They want to act like
Well, dude,
Mamdani doesn't
that's why
exist.
people say that the Dems need a Trump. They're not saying that the Dems need like a charismatic guy who's already famous to come in and do their bidding. What people are saying when they say the Dems need a Trump is that they need a political outsider to come in and flip the fucking table. Because that's what Trump
Yeah,
did. Trump was
yeah,
not a politician. Trump, even now, I would argue, is not a politician. He's not running in a political way. He thinks he's in a fucking popularity contest. And he's just
Yeah,
saying the shit that makes him popular. I mean, he was before his second term actually started, at least, which is all that matters as far as he's concerned. He got the power. He doesn't have to keep saying the right shit anymore because he can do whatever he wants now. Like, that's the thing, is like, people aren't saying, oh, the Dems need their own Trump because the Dems need some like boisterous, obnoxious, like fucking Gavin Newsom, right? Some guy to come in that's like this boisterous, obnoxious guy that says shit that people find offensive, that politicians wouldn't normally say. What people are saying is the Dems need a non-politician to come in, run, win against the will of the DNC, and do things that are way further left than what the Democratic establishment wants to do.
exactly. Yeah. And I hope it happens. I'm telling you, 2026 and 2028 are going to be so interesting because a lot of people think that Kamala wants to run again. No, I already voted for you
Dude,
once. Yeah,
I am
like
telling you right now, my money is on Gavin Newsom being the Democratic nominee.
it's really looking likely unless somebody comes out of nowhere to run like Obama did in '08.
If it's not Newsom, it'll be Buttigieg.
Yeah, and God, Jesus Christ. That's the thing. I mean, they should just be lucky because I mean, Kyle says this multiple times, and I obviously have my ideological disagreements with Kyle, but I really do like listening to him. He says like Dems are doing so well by and large because Republican leadership is just so fucking awful. Again, a lot of people are waking up to right wing austerity politics fucking sucks because it's empty. Unless you're like a foaming at the mouth rabid racist, you're not really getting anything out of this fucking deal at all. But if Democrats actually had
You'd be
a good
surprised how
plan,
many of those types of people there are, by the way.
that is true.
The
That
foaming at
is
the
true.
mouth, rabid racist types. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how many there are, and it's like you would expect that to be like a very tiny minority, but they went so long feeling the need to keep it under wraps, and only now do they feel comfortable letting their freak flag fly. And it's like, holy fuck, where did all of you come from?
Yeah, yeah, and of course, liberalism to me doesn't meaningfully challenge those people, and in
No,
some ways, they also kind of participate in those same practices, albeit more subtly. They're the type that'll be like, saying to a black man, "Oh, you speak so eloquently." Yeah, okay, fucking weirdo. So that's that. But what was I? Oh yeah, yeah. So Kyle says like they're doing so well because Republican leadership is so fucking awful. But like if they actually had an economically populist platform, if they actually were progressive, they would be doubling their fucking advantage. And he's right. Like centrism doesn't work. No matter how many think pieces the New York Times puts out, people are done with center Democrats because they're normally center right. They're done with it. They want progressive politics. And so that's kind of the hope that I take from the voting base. Yes, there are a lot of rabid racists. Yes, there are cult followers of Trump till the end. However, I also think there are people, at least on an economic level, even if they don't have the compassion that I wish that they would, or just other social consciousness the way that I wish that they would. There is kind of a crude socialist desire in the voting masses to me, and they don't even know it. And that's why, again, I think it is up to the far left to be like, well, if this is what you want, how does this kind of world sound to you, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes because I mean, this administration is not slowing down. They're doing an anti-communism week while they're still, doing the whole let them eat cake mentality of feeding the rich and fuck everybody else. So I don't know. Next year is going to be very, very fucking interesting to say the least. But with that, let us get to popular culture. As I already said, Ash and I are doing a Stranger Things rewatch. We've got 2 episodes left of season 1. We've been keeping up with It Welcome to Derry. That has been a really fun show. We watched the Bob's Burgers movie from 2022 last night. That was really good. I actually missed
that was
being in
a
the Bob's
couple
Burgers.
nights ago, actually.
That was a couple nights ago, yeah. But H. John Benjamin's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
I enjoyed it. That was like a good, wholesome break from the Halloween stuff. And now
Definitely.
we're back into something scary with Stranger Things.
Yeah, I have heard your mom give more of a reaction to Stranger Things and just be on the edge of her seat than anything we watched throughout all of October. It is
Yeah.
it's insane to me. But I'm so thrilled she's enjoying it.
Oh,
Um,
pop culture related, but also politically related. So this kind of combines our last two subjects. Olivia Rodrigo, the pop singer, known for songs like "Driver's License" and um, good for you. And mom, help me out here. Well, I'm not gonna keep going. I'll just say she has a song called "All American Bitch" that basically talks about her life feeling the pressure to be perfect as an American girl, American woman, and the Department of Homeland Security used that song for a video, and she publicly condemned it, saying, "Don't ever use my songs to promote your racist, hateful propaganda."
Based.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of those Republicans, given that no celebrity or singer worth their salt wants anything to fucking do with you, have
Except
fun
for
with your.
Sydney Sweeney for some reason.
Yeah, which she's already kind of getting dunked on by people and stuff. I'm guessing for her career, this isn't going to fucking age well.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
hope.
she'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
If
But
Louis
yeah, have.
C.K. still has a career, I'm sure she'll be fine.
Wait, who does?
Louis C.K.?
Yeah, but I mean, I also feel like he's more on the periphery than he ever was. Like, his most successful time was when he kind of like feigned being liberal and stuff or being more progressive. Because I mean,
Yeah.
he had that show Louis on FX, which I unironically enjoyed until the truth came out about him. Now I hear that he like does comedy shows or whatever, but I haven't heard about any new shows or movies. So like, they still have careers,
Yeah.
but they're definitely a lot smaller than they used to be.
Yeah, that's fair. Can I also just say FX has had some absolute banger shows. My God,
I was thinking about Dave the other day.
Louis
Um,
wasn't even like in the top 10 in my mind. I'm more thinking of like Legit, the Jim Jeffries show.
yeah.
What was that fucking dog show where there was a guy in a dog suit, but it was actually just a
Oh,
dog?
Wilfred.
Wilfred, yeah, that was another really good FX show. Man, FX is low key underrated. Sons of Anarchy was an FX show too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And Justified is another one. God damn,
Yeah, like I said, I was thinking about Dave a few days ago because Lil Dicky
Dave.
was in a Buffalo Wild Wings commercial,
Yeah,
and
that's yeah,
yeah.
that's. I wonder when he's gonna start making stuff again.
Well, I know a new season of Dave won't come for a while because he actually does want to make new music now. So new music will
Yeah,
probably come first, and then maybe we'll revisit Dave.
yeah, but I feel
Um,
like we've been hearing that for a long time now, and nothing's come out.
he he's a procrastinator. I feel like so we just gotta let him. We just gotta let him do his
Get that
process.
man on some fucking Ritalin.
Yeah. Yes. Pop. Finally watched The Substance with the family. Oh
Yes.
God, that what an experience. Third act was hella weird, but honestly, the more I meditate on it, the more I really like the movie. I think actually I'm gonna revise my score from like an 8 to like I'll even say a 9 out of 10. I think it's a beautiful fucking commentary. Very visually, they did not shy on the body horror. And there
No.
was a piece of body horror that did make me cackle, which is what I was really hoping for. And
Wait, there
yeah,
was a piece of body horror that made you laugh?
yeah, it was when she transformed into Monster Sue and Demi Moore's face was on her back gasping
Oh,
for air.
okay, got it.
That popped me so hard.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was a great family
I
friendly
also I just have to
experience.
point out that art, or I guess I should say the other way around, life imitated art, because Demi Moore lost Best Actress to the girl, I forget her name, Mikey Madison. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Who was like hot young star who was in Honora.
yeah. You know what though? I'm excited for Demi Moore because I looked on Wikipedia and as you know, because we're already I think set to watch this movie together, provided the trailer is good. She's going to be in Boots Riley's next film, which is going to be like a sci-fi
Yes.
comedy. It's going to be Demi
Yes.
Moore, Will Poulter, and Lakeith Stanfield and Kiki Palmer.
I
So
wonder if it's
like,
gonna have similar vibes to They Cloned Tyrone,
dude, I
because
hope
that's
so.
pretty fucking sci-fi too.
And when I read the premise, I can't help but feel like Demi Moore is going to be the villain of this, which also gets me excited.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, good. You know what though? And I will say as an actress, because I saw some interviews she did about the substance, like I am so happy for her. I try not to do the whole parasocial thing and this and that, and I try and like keep my distance from really liking any celebrity beyond their acting ability. But she really does seem, and I want to emphasize seem like a sweetheart. She actually said before the substance happened, she was considering retiring because she was like, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. Like nobody wants to see me anymore.
And
And
then
then
The
she got,
Substance was literally a story about how Hollywood churns out women when they reach a certain age.
yeah, yeah, and she's like, I love the script. I love how crazy it got, and
Yeah.
I think she killed it. I thought that, and really, Margaret, is it Qualley or Qualley? How you pronounce that last
I
name?
say Quali, but I don't know if that's the right way of saying it.
I'm gonna say quality because you say it, and if we get corrected, we always revise. We do that shit all the fucking time. I actually liked her better in this than I did in Honey Don't,
I can
personally.
confirm it's quali. I just looked on Wikipedia and they have the phonetic pronunciation listed.
Nice. So yeah, I think I liked her better in this than Honey Don't, which we watched a little while ago.
No, I loved her in Honey Don't. She was so good in that.
I mean, she wasn't bad. I'm not trying to say like one was horrible and the other was great. I'm
No,
just
I
saying like, yeah,
understand, but like for me,
yeah.
her performance in Honey Don't is like as close to 10 out of 10 as you can get. And like, don't get me wrong, the substance she was probably like a 9 out of 10, but doesn't it's not quite Honey Don't for me.
I'll tell you what I really loved about the substance, and then we got to move on to the stuff because this isn't the substance section. This is popular culture. You guys just know I've been wanting to see this movie for fucking ever. Um, I love how much they leave with like show don't tell, like with the camera and with the cinematography and stuff like that. I thought it was a great visual story.
Yeah.
It didn't hold your hand, and I really appreciated that. So anyway, we can move on. Um, let's see. We watched the first 2 episodes of Has Been Hotel, but then you were like, I ain't really feeling this, Chief. So then we dropped it. I don't even know if I'm gonna finish the rewatch and or watch season 2 because, as you know, I'm more of a social watcher with a lot of shows. If I'm doing it with a group, that's better than trying to do it alone. I guess I just don't have the attention span. I don't know. So I'll
No,
keep you guys
I can
updated.
definitely relate though, man, for sure. Like, if I want to watch something, I have a way higher likelihood of actually watching it beginning to end if I'm watching it with you or with my mom or both.
The only exception, because I was thinking about this yesterday, because I know sometimes you'll watch them, maybe you won't feel it as much as the first time, or maybe like I'll give it another chance. I am curious if you'll be down with X-Men 97 season 2, because when we
Yeah.
talked about season 1, I clearly seem to be far more enthused about it than you.
Mhm.
And if you were like, John, I'm not feeling this, like that would be the one show where I'm like, I gotta see it because I just think it's fucking excellent. But we'll see though,
Yeah,
because I may
you
hate
know
it
it's
too.
weird with Has Been Hotel because I do think the songs are good. I think they're good quality songs. I just really do not vibe with the way that characters talk in that show at all.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's the script or if it's the delivery or if it's the direction, but characters in that show just talk like they were written by a fanfic writer.
Yeah. And didn't Rotten Butter even come in with some details about the show, and you were like, that tracks? Because what did he even
Um,
say about it?
yeah, I said my line was that I was rewatching Has Been Hotel season one, and man, this show really comes off like Drama Kid fanfic. And Rotten Butter added Drama Kid and Deviant Artist, as in like
Yeah,
someone who makes art on the website Deviant Art,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which
Um,
is pretty much fanfic, right? Like that's like the sort of cliche of Deviant Art is that's where people go to post their fanfic images,
yes,
if
yes.
not Tumblr.
We saw the Percy Jackson and the Olympians trailer. I'll
That
admit
looks
the
fun.
trailer looked hype. I think I'm gonna really enjoy that. I know you're excited for Prehistoric Planet Ice Age season 3.
I
That's gonna be
am.
November 26th.
Yeah, dude, voiced by Tom Hiddleston, low key himself.
Yes, yes,
He's narrating. I mean, I love David Attenborough. He's 1A and 1B with Werner Herzog as far as my favorite narrators for documentaries go. But Tom Hiddleston, I think this is the first documentary I've ever seen that he's voicing. I'm very interested to hear how he does. I do love his voice. His performance as Loki is very almost addictive to me. I just like hearing him talk. So it's going to be good.
definitely. Trying to think what else. Me and my family were still watching the Ed Gein show.
Oh, since you
Um,
were bringing up trailers, we got a trailer for Stranger Things Tales from '85. And I'm very excited about that because it allows for the story to continue with the same cast, but we can keep them young. We can keep them at their age that they would have been in 1985, which is like 14, 15, I would assume.
yes,
Because the actual cast they're just fucking adults now. Like this show's been going on for
yes,
over a decade, I think. So, or close to a decade at least. And so, yeah, the kids from season one were already looking pretty fucking mature by season four, and now we're getting into season five to finally close things out. And yeah, no, they just don't look like kids anymore. But you animate it, and all of a sudden they can look whatever the fuck you want them to look like, and so they're kids again.
absolutely. And I really have to wonder because again, my original understanding when this show first came out was it was going to be 5 seasons, or I guess yeah, 5 seasons and a movie. And I'm wondering,
Oh, I
like, are
didn't
we
know
still
about the
doing?
movie.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's still in the cards because I mean, bro, the length of these episodes that are going to be dropping this month might as well be the fucking movie, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the plan or if plans change, which I mean, that's totally fine. The bigger question I have is twofold. What are the careers going to be like? Because Millie Bobby Brown already seems pretty secure. Like, in fact, at some point, I'm guessing next year we're going to be getting Enola Holmes 3. So,
Well,
like,
yeah. I
she's
mean,
already
even if
doing
she
shit.
didn't keep on acting, though, she seems really fucking happy in her personal life. Like she is
Yeah,
married to John Bon Jovi's son, and they have a ranch. And like, there are pictures out there of her with the animals that they have on their ranch, and she looks so fucking happy around those animals.
yeah, I love that for her, honestly. There's
Yeah,
something about rural living and just being away from fucking people and just mass city chaos that I think does well for people. Used to love that for Brock Lesnar until he outed himself as a piece of shit. Um,
he didn't
Finn
out
Wolfhard,
himself. He got outed as a piece of shit in the hearing, the documents that got leaked of
that is true.
yeah,
Yeah.
the woman that's suing Vince.
There you go. There you go. Finn Wolfhard, I know, has done a few movies. As far as the rest of the cast, I really don't know. Sadie Sink, I think, might be the only other one because I know she's going to be in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That's right.
Which,
Yeah, she's already got a gig lined up.
yeah, actually, no, not Spider-Man: No Way Home. I stand corrected. I want to correct myself. Spider-Man: A Brand New Day is the movie she's going to be
The
in.
next Spider-Man movie, the live action
Yes,
one that's going to be coming out. Yeah,
yes. So I'm curious what role she'll play and stuff like that. So I'm happy for her.
I
Um,
really want to see Caleb McLaughlin get used in something. That's the kid that plays Lucas. I have
yeah,
said
yeah,
before, I would love for him to get into like some Power Rangers properties.
that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, it's just, and I think the kid that plays Dustin, I think I saw him in one other movie that was
Gatton,
like on Hulu.
Gatton Matarazzo. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're all gonna be okay, but then the other big question, because I said it was twofold, what the hell do the Duffer Brothers do after this? Like,
I
'cause
mean,
whatever they
well, do you know that they're going to continue with the Stranger Things stuff with the Tales from '85
yeah,
animated show at least? But
yeah,
I don't know what else. I mean,
yeah.
have they put out anything over the course of the last decade since they've been working on Stranger Things?
I don't think they've had a need to, and no, I just don't think they have, because I mean, this has just gotten all their attention, so I'm just wondering,
Yeah,
like
there's a show coming next year called The Burrows that the Duffer Brothers are apparently producing.
interesting, okay. Okay.
Sci-fi, created by Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews, produced by the Duffer Brothers, slated to premiere on Netflix in 2026. Premise: in a seemingly picturesque retirement community, a group of unlikely heroes must band together to stop an otherworldly threat from stealing the one thing they don't have: time.
Ooh, interesting, okay.
Bill Pullman, Gina Davis, Clark Peters, Alfred Molina, Alfred Woodard, Dennis O'Hare, Jenna Malone, Carlos Miranda, Seth Numrick, Alice Kremmelberg, and I don't think I recognize any of these other names.
Nice, nice.
But Bill Pullman, Gina Davis, Alfred Molina, Alfred Woodard, my God, that's stacked immediately.
Alfred Molina definitely gets me out of bed, for
Dude,
sure.
Alfred Woodard is the woman that played in fucking Daredevil, or not Daredevil, in Luke Cage, the woman, fuck, Stokes, Mariah.
Oh, Mariah oh, wow, that's dope,
That's
okay.
Alfred Woodard. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Um,
And Bill
oh,
Pullman was the guy that was the main character of fucking Twister,
yeah, oh,
the one
man,
that wasn't horrible.
the good one. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Fuck you, Twisters, and also, Wicked for Good, fuck
Wait,
you too, just,
I
you know.
I am apparently wrong about that. That's not who that is. No, it
Oh,
was. Oh my God, it was Bill Paxton in Twister. So who's Bill Pullman then? I feel like I've seen him in stuff before. He was in A League of Their Own. Have you seen A League of Their Own?
no.
Shit, I know I've seen him in something before. American Ultra.
There you go.
He plays like the guy that's like above all of the people that are scrapping throughout the movie that ends up killing Topher Grace's character at the end and forgiving the woman that activated Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's definitely not the only thing I know him from. That's the only thing I can think of right now. So let's move on.
Alright, I really can't think of anything else for popular culture, because I haven't really listened to, like, any New music. I
Okay.
discovered Black Atlas today while I was
Well,
stacking wood, and they're all
I'll
in.
get into the other watching stuff. We finished
Yeah,
off Platonic season 2.
that's right, we did.
We caught up on Solar Opposites and watched season 6.
Really enjoyed that season. I love that show.
And then the only other thing that hasn't been mentioned yet is we watched Fantastic Four First Steps.
We did. Yes, we did.
And
I
it was
I
fun. It
enjoyed
was
it.
a solid movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of agreed on like an 8ish, 7.5, 8ish range out of 10.
Yes.
And I think we also
Uh,
all agreed that Thunderbolts and Superman were the two best superhero movies of the year, with Fantastic Four coming in third, and then
yes.
fourth place by far being Captain America: Brave New World.
Yes, I would agree on all counts.
God, the optics on that. I mean, you really have a black guy take over the mantle of Captain America, and the next movie that you make, the first movie that you make with him as Captain America, is Captain America in the title, but it surrounds like it's really more of an Incredible Hulk sequel about an old white man president who turns into a Red Hulk.
Yeah.
The
That movie
fucking
was
optics. I
garbage.
guess they just don't believe in Anthony Mackie's star power to bring fans to the theater, so they had to make it more about Harrison Ford because they know like he's like a proven draw.
Yeah.
Believe in Anthony Mackie. People love him. Twisted Metal, man. Come on.
Who's Metal, I think, is the best thing he's done for me. I fucking love that show.
Wasn't he in
Um,
something else recently that we watched that we loved him in?
um, Probably, but I can't recollect it.
I feel like he was in like an action movie or something that we watched that we loved him in.
Hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I would really count this because it was just his voice, but he was voicing a character in The Electric State. We watched that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But no, I'm probably misremembering. I could have sworn that he was in like an action movie or something that we had seen recently, but maybe the fuck not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But Twisted Metal is an action franchise that he's in that's great, that he's great in.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. All right. What about music? Any music you have to report on?
Yes, I just discovered there's a Hamilton mixtape and I listened to it today and it was really good. Most of it was really good. There were some real duds on there, but I think there were only like 3 or so duds and the entire rest of the album was fantastic.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Uh,
like
yeah.
there Jimmy Fallon had a song on there.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't horrible. It popped me a little bit because he was doing this bit where he talked about how he was taught how to do a specific breathing technique by his singing instructor, and he was really doing these deep like breaths, and it popped the shit out of me the first couple times he did it. But then he just kind of did the rest of the song like normal, and there was nothing funny or entertaining about it. It was just kind of Jimmy Fallon being Jimmy Fallon. Um, but there was some real. Oh, another one that I personally is just a stinker for me. Kelly Clarkson covered "It's Quiet Uptown." I'm just not a big fan of Kelly Clarkson. She's fine, I guess. Her voice is good, whatever. It's just not my thing. What was the other like stinker for me? There was another one that was in there. Oh, Sia. Sia was in it, and she voiced part of the song "Satisfied." And God, she is. I mean, we know she's a terrible person and ableist, etc. But my God, she's annoying sometimes when she sings.
I'm
The
sorry, I
way
blanked. Who is this?
Sia,
Oh, fuck her. Yeah. No, continue,
the way
please.
that she like over pronounces things just annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But no, those were really the only hiccups on the whole album. It was really good. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot one. Ja Rule is on it, and he's just such a fucking hack.
Oh my god, he's still a thing?
Not really, no, but his wife was on it, and they brought him in to sing with it or to rap with her, I guess.
Welp.
Yeah, Ashanti still sounds amazing, by the way. Ashanti, which speaking of Ashanti, did you? I think I might have told you this before, so you might know this already. Did you know that some of J Lo's older songs were actually Ashanti singing, and J Lo just got credited for it?
No, I did not know that.
J Lo used to use ghost singers because she wasn't that good of a singer back in like the late '90s, early 2000s, and like there are some songs that are very obviously Ashanti doing the singing once you realize that she did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ashanti is fantastic even still to this day. But they Ashanti and Ja Rule did "Helpless," and Ja Rule, rather than singing the actual lyrics of the song because he's a fucking hack, he made it about how much he loves Ashanti, his wife.
Damn, that's wild. What even is this planet? Jesus Christ.
But no, there was some really good stuff on there though, for sure. Like, um, Queen Latifah did a rap verse in "Satisfied" that was amazing. Miguel sounded amazing on that track.
Yeah.
Um, God, Alicia Keys showed up a couple times. She's amazing. John Legend sang "History Has Its Eyes on You." He's fantastic. Common did a rap verse on "Who Tells Your Story." I love Common. And then yeah, Chance the Rapper and Francis and the Lights did Dear Theodosia reprise, and that was amazing too. There was a lot of good stuff on there though. Just some landmines.
All right. Anything else that you want to report on?
Um, Musically, I've just been in a real R&B mood lately, so not
Okay.
not really anything new going on though.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. Should we get into Q&A then?
Yes.
Excellent.
Would you like to
All right.
start at the beginning?
I mean, is there any other way to start? I mean, of course there is, but yes, let's start at the beginning.
You called me the fuck out.
Yeah. All right.
First question from Super Blue is: do you see Pokemon still being a thing in 50 to 100 years? Yes.
Definitely. Yes.
Although then again, a few years ago you could have asked me the same question about Power Rangers and I would have said yes then. And now it's not only is Power Rangers over, but Super Sentai is over too. That's fucking wild.
Given that Pokemon's an animated property and everything, so long as like, because I understand that the people behind it, they're mortal, they decay and stuff like that, but so long
Well,
as the
yeah,
people
but that's like a
succeeding,
revolving door though, you know? It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like I think, I mean, to be honest, I'm shocked the Simpsons are still a thing to this day. Like, you
It's
know,
only been, that hasn't even hit 30 years yet, I think. Or no, it might have. So, but it's barely over 30. And this is talking about 50 to 100.
yeah, I could see it though. I really could. Um,
Pokemon is timeless. And you know what? I'll even say, because, the whole Power Rangers question, Power Rangers, as we know it, is over, but the property, like the actual intellectual property of Power Rangers, is going to have a future.
yeah,
So I think in terms of Pokemon, I can say the exact same thing. Even if Pokemon, the way we know it, comes to an end, that intellectual property is going to be able to make money for literally ever.
yes.
So, next question: how do you feel about the death of Dick Cheney?
I laughed when I saw it. It definitely was an endorphin boost to get me through the day.
We're never
Um,
upset when we find out that warmongers die.
Here's something that I learned in the wake of his death. Um, that he shot the guy in the face while hunting quail, right? What I didn't know was that he actually forced that guy to apologize to him.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, fuck you twice.
Well, it was the whole idea was like you should apologize to me for how much stress you've caused me because of this incident becoming such a widely known thing. Apparently, people weren't supposed to know about it.
Yeah, you fucking shot me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Maybe if you don't want a public hassle, don't fucking shoot a guy.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. So yeah,
See,
I
that's
laughed.
the problem is that you are using your logical brain. Dick Cheney doesn't have one of those. He has a what makes me look good and how do I gain an advantage brain.
I don't even know if he really died. He might have just felt that this form was weakening and he slithered through the first open pipe that he found and he's just plotting, he's like fucking Pennywise. He's like an eldritch creature that's going to sleep for like 30 years before reemerging or some shit. I know with
He got
Pennywise it
the
was
fucking
27, but
procedure done
yeah,
that's in oh, what is that fucking Jordan Peele movie? The first one. That one.
Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah. Yeah. He got that procedure done and his mind lives on in the body of someone far more athletic and handsome than him.
Exactly. All right, next
Give it
question.
give it a few years. We'll find out real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next
So next
question.
question. Yeah.
Yes, of course. What do you think will end first, the government shutdown or the dispute between ESPN and YouTube TV?
I'm gonna go with the latter actually,
I don't even
because
know
like
about
again,
this.
yeah, I didn't know about it either, but I'm gonna say that dispute will end first because this shutdown, again, when you look at Russ Vogt and his powers as the Office of Personnel Management, his powers really get to be flexed during a shutdown. And he said, like, I want to traumatize federal workers. Like, the whole goal is to dismantle the administrative state as it currently is and to rebuild it to serve white Christian nationalist interests. So there's no reason. I mean, this shutdown could go on indefinitely. So I say the dispute ends before the shutdown ends, personally.
I mean, dude, they could keep this shutdown going indefinitely just to avoid swearing in any Democratic representatives into the House.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. 100% right about that.
Because Mike Johnson has literally justified his unwillingness to swear in Representative, is it Grijalva?
Yes.
Yeah. He's justified that by saying, oh, well, the House doesn't have anything to do while the government's shut down. You need to focus on the Democrats in the Senate not being willing to pass a resolution that the Republicans agree to. And, just that deflection of like, well, the House can't do anything while the government's shut down. And for as long as the government is shut down, the House, because of Mike Johnson being the speaker, the House doesn't have to do jack shit. And if they just keep it shut down, even past midterms. I mean, fuck, midterms are only a year away, right? If they keep the government shut down that fucking long, I don't even know. I don't even know what that looks like. We are already dealing with the longest government shutdown in history, and it's only been like what, like 40 days or 41 days or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Like, I think we're just coming up on 40 days, aren't we? We're like 38 or something, I
I'm
think.
not 100% sure, but it's the longest of all time already. The second longest of all time was in the first Trump term.
Yeah.
But now the difference is now they're trying to hold on to their power and prevent a vote from happening that would allow the release of the Epstein files. So now, not only are they motivated to really try and hold on to their power just for the sake of power's sake, but now they're trying to hold on to their power for the sake of preventing something that they don't want to happen happening.
Yeah.
So things could get really fucking ugly.
Yes, they could,
I mean,
friend.
they already
Yes,
are,
they
but
could.
like, let's be real, it could definitely get a lot worse.
Oh, definitely. They got that fucking saw and they're trying to saw the bottom of the barrel to stick their hand down the hole. So, we'll fucking see. Next question.
Next question. How do you feel about Okada being the final opponent for Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom?
Just where I am with pro wrestling Sabrula, this isn't trying to be snippy. I really don't care. Like, if it's the match Tanahashi wants, I'm happy for him. I'm sure it'll be a fine match, but like, I don't know. I'm just kind of really over it. Nothing really gets me hyped in pro wrestling much anymore. So I'm like, cool for him, but I'm not gonna watch regardless. So what does it matter?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually felt, some positive emotions. Like it was heartwarming when I saw Okada come out. Like, when I saw the clip of Tanahashi talking in the ring, and then the coin drops and the crowd freaks out. I was like, oh, that's what pro wrestling is supposed to do. You know?
I I think what made me smile a little bit, to be honest, as weird as it sounds, just Okada coming out with Ghetto because I'm like, man, that's a fucking
Yeah,
throwback.
that
Yeah.
was really interesting to see too, for sure. Yeah, I'm happy about that. I think that that match and the actual world title match are enough that I might even check out Wrestle Kingdom this year for those two matches alone.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how they are, man, because right now, again, I'm just so checked out.
Do
But
you know what the
yeah,
main event is?
isn't it Suji versus Takeshita?
Yep,
That is gonna be a barn burner, I
it's a
think.
banger. Yeah.
Another 5-star match for Meltzer to fucking, fucking orgasm over.
Yeah.
Uh,
Question 5 from Super Blue: Can we invite Eli Drake to TwitWoW Island? No.
no.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, are you insane? No. Um,
Question
next,
6: Who do you think the mystery opponent will be to job out to LA Knight next week?
don't know. Is it too early
Wouldn't
for
it be
Chad Gable?
hilarious if they didn't job out to LA Knight, if he jobbed out to them though? Wouldn't that be so funny?
I would laugh personally.
Yeah.
Is
Who
it
might
too
it be
soon for?
though?
I've been trying to like. Is it too soon for Chad Gable to be back?
Chad Gable?
Because I know
No, I
I
don't
know he
think
was going.
so. Yeah. All right. Well, next up, seventh, I think, sixth, maybe question from Zero Blue. Or no, that was the sixth one. So seventh question from Zero Blue. It's the NWO versus the Bloodline in War Games. Who would you pick to win? And to be clear, NWO is comprised of Hogan, Hall, Nash, the Giant, and Mr. Perfect. The Bloodline is I believe this is like early 2022 or 23 Bloodline. It's Roman, the Usos, Solo, and Sammy.
I still go Bloodline, honestly.
And he even specified it would take place in WWE, which seals it for me that the Bloodline's winning.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, next set of questions and our final set of questions. Unless actually we did get something from Caster Sales. He asked if we watched Sinners. Yes, we did. We loved it. It was amazing. Then he asked if we've ever heard of Chainsaw Man. Yes, we did. Or yes, we do know of it. We watched it. We loved it. We're looking forward to watching the movie that is, I believe, in theaters right now, actually. And then he asked
Yeah.
if we watched Vampires, directed by John Carpenter. No, we have not.
Speaking of John Carpenter, just while we're on that subject, apparently he's writing a script for The Thing too, and I'm like, why? That ending was so
What?
perfect. Dude, I know. That was my reaction. I mean, a little
I
bit
mean,
less
he can
weak, but
bring
definitely.
back Kurt Russell and Keith David. Wait, Keith David's still alive, right?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, that's good. I would have, my heart would have sunk if you would have said no, he died last year or something like that.
Dude, that's gonna be a heartbreaking loss for me
I
because
know.
his voice is iconic.
John
Jeez.
Witherspoon was up there for me. I fucking love that dude's voice.
Yeah. Dude, I know, like, unrelated, but since we're talking about, like, talented, Keith David is a talented black man, I still to this day miss fucking Bernie Mac. I saw one of the movies apparently we have with him
Oh,
in it today,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Fuck," like, why do all the good people die? And yet people like Henry Kissinger live to, like, 100. Like, the world is so unfair.
Vince and Trump are
Jesus.
gonna live to be 100. Fuck.
Dude,
Trump's definitely
I didn't know, but, like, Vance probably, Stephen Miller probably, and I hate it, so
not. No. Oh God. Anyway, next and final set of questions though are from Alex Foster. First up is just for you, John. If you had to have wrestlers cast in the show Barry, who would play whom?
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, Foster. I'm gonna suck at this question. I think Charlotte would make a great Sally, just because Sally is very self-absorbed, and we've read excerpts from Charlotte's book. She can pull off a Sally pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
Um, I think for the actor version of Barry in the movie they did on his life, like in the epilogue of the series finale, I would get Johnny Mundo for that because I think that would be fucking hilarious. Um, if he was now, Foster, I don't know how much wiggle room I have with this question. For a Cousineau, I would get either Eric Bischoff today because he's like very, very gray and stuff, and he has aged. Or if you turn back the clock a little bit to at least early 2000s where he was more coherent, definitely a Ric Flair because Cousineau could be a bit like wild in his instruction. And I could see Ric Flair like yelling at his theater students and stuff and be like, no, you got to really get into it. So either like a Ric Flair or an Eric Bischoff for Cousineau. For Barry as he actually was, a really good hitman, but also kind of schlubby in a way. Maybe a John Moxley, but like John Moxley would really have to tone it down. Like, see, that's the thing about Barry. He's kind of like flat effect, which is the whole joke, right? Like, he wants to be an actor, but he's so like monotone and like dispassionate and stuff like that. So Moxley wouldn't be the best pick. That
Danielson.
Danielson may like Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's do fucking Danielson. Um, Fuchs, who would be Fuchs? Because again, that's somebody that manipulates Brian and stuff like that. Or manipulates
Papa
Barry, but
Paul.
like, wait, what was that?
Papa Paul.
Papa Paul. Yeah, there you go. Papa Paul. There you go. Um,
Do you have an answer though?
I was actually going to say Paul Heyman, but I think that's who you meant, right? With Papa
Oh.
Paul. So,
No, when I said Papa Paul, I meant Triple H.
oh,
But I
oh,
love your Paul Heyman answer even more.
yeah, Paul Heyman, I think could be because I'm also trying to think about like temperament and psychology. You know what I mean? That's why I picked
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte for Sally. And like, yeah, I think Paul Heyman fits that Fuchs thing perfectly. And then I think, do you remember the young guy that died early in Barry? I forget the guy's name, but like he kind of
Yeah.
like set the whole chain of
I
events off.
remember who
I would
you're
have
talking about. I don't remember his name either though.
I would have John Cena play him just
Oh
because
my
like I think that'd
god.
be hilarious. Um,
Well, we know he was a soldier, so.
oh yeah, fucking Cristobal and Hank.
Oh yeah. Cristobal's obviously Andrade. Come on.
Andrade, and then God, Hank. I actually have a really random shout for Hank because I was gonna be boring and say Christopher Daniels, but I'm gonna test everybody's wrestling memory here. Do you remember Marcus Louis?
Oh my god, I do.
Remember the angle where he lost all his hair and he looked fucking horrified?
Yeah.
He looks like a shrinky dink no ho Hank, so I'm doing it. I'm doing
I was
Marcus
gonna
Louis.
say Caval, low key.
Dude, I think your answer's better, but I'm still sticking with mine just because I popped myself. Um,
That is such a deep fucking pull.
dude, right? My mind is kind of sexy sometimes. I'm just gonna say it. Um,
Obviously.
but listen to you glazing me. What a sweetie. Let's see. That silent woman that was kind of like running the church operation, I would kind of do a gender swap and I would do Samoa Joe. That fucking role. Just because he's got that quiet menace going on.
Wait, who is Samoa Joe playing?
Remember that silent woman that like was getting close to Cristobal and Hank like hated her and he was like, "Better, you got to kill her with this bullet." Like I would do Joe for her. I'm pretty much reconstructing the whole Barry universe. I feel like. Oh, fucking Angela Moss, the FBI agent.
Oh god.
Um, you know what? I would do Lash Legend for Angela because she's fucking badass and like I'd really like that. Either
I
her.
don't think anyone's gonna buy Brian Danielson killing Lash Legend.
True, but I mean, he is the best wrestler on the planet. Um, and also very true because Barry, he knew the gun was already there and he was just a bit quicker on the draw. So if not Lash, maybe Naomi. Naomi actually is a good pick. Actually, I like Naomi. I'm gonna go with her. So I'll say Naomi for Angela, with Lash as like an understudy, and what about Albert, that guy that Barry saved? That they had that iconic scene where he's holding him at gunpoint. Albert, I wanted to be an actual agent. Would it be
I don't remember Albert.
I guess Dante Chen, possibly?
Oh.
So we can do that. And you know what? I think this is the most thought I've ever put into one of these weird questions. I'm really proud of myself, so I think I'm just gonna stop there. Yeah, I think I did
Okay.
great. Yeah.
The second questions from Alex is just for me. He said, if you were hired by Game Freak to make new Pokeballs, what would they be like and how would they operate? So the first one I would call the Snooze Ball, and it would have a base multiplier of 2, but if the Pokemon that you're throwing it at is asleep, that would double to 4 then. And then I would also, I think another status ball would be really cool actually. So let's call it a stun ball. That is the exact same as the snooze ball, but it works on paralyzed opponents instead of sleeping opponents. And then we can also have a frost ball that does the same thing against frozen opponents. And for games like Legends Arceus and Legends ZA, I would want a surprise ball, which is doubly effective against opponents with their backs turned, wild Pokemon with their backs turned. So like the effective, I'm basically just finding ways to multiply the effectiveness of things that are already effective, I guess. So that I'm gonna stop after that. That's 4. Final question of the Q&A: if John Cena apologized to you guys after turning face, like the kid he roasted, what would he apologize for?
Not using his creative control to stay heel, because fuck Triple H.
Yeah, I would say he would apologize for not having a better motivation to go heel in the first place and for basically scamming us.
Literally, my idea was superior. Not my idea in terms of the question, but my idea as far as his motivation, the whole Snickers thing, that unironically was
Oh my
better than
god.
what they gave us.
Oh my
Like,
god, yeah, for sure. And like the actual real idea of him turning heel to ensure that he gets to 18,
yeah,
or was it 17? I
it
don't
was
remember.
17. It was 17.
I've
Yeah,
never seen 17. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, no, like the idea of like turning heel to ensure that he gets that 17th title, because like, back at the Rumble, he was like, I want to get 17 so I can be there to shake the hand of 18. I mean, you built the story in already. Why didn't you just follow up on it, Paul?
yeah. Paul.
I wish it was easier to say Paul with the stain the way it is for Jerry.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so right.
Or
That's gonna.
what the fuck, Richard?
You're right. My new life's work is going to be finding the right amount of disdain for each name so that everybody can be hated at the right time.
Or
Yeah.
another all timer, Adam.
Yeah. God damn it. All right, that was Q&A, right? So now we do high spots and low shots in life. I'm gonna have a bit of fun with this one this week. My low shot in life is Andrew Cuomo. Your political career is
Yes,
over. You suck. You have a face of molded ravioli and go in a hole and die. Who is your low shot?
my low shot is gonna go to hmm. Let's see. You know what? You took the liberal. I'll say my low shot is conservatives because y'all got swept hard at the vote ballot box this week, and even to the point that Pennsylvania retained our three liberal justices on our Supreme Court.
Yeah, yeah.
And you also lost
My
Dick
honor.
Cheney.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is the first time I've done one of these since we've kind of tweaked the format of the show. My honorary high spot is communists because America has never been more afraid of us, even though we're still not actually doing communist things. Um, thank God for Reaganism and McCarthyism, I guess. My actual high
Ew.
spot, let me think, because I don't want to go for the low hanging fruit on this one. I feel like I did that for a low shot. Oh, fuck. You know what? You know what? My high spot is everybody that banded together to start tanking Spotify's fucking stock because apparently it went down fucking 11 points. It might have even gone down steeper than that, but like, yeah, it's starting to tank. So these people that do boycotts and organize, shout out to everybody that organized when Snap, and for a lot of the country, I think Snap still hasn't gone out. Everybody that's organizing to keep people fed, telling corporations fuck you, that is really getting the message out that hell, even voted for things that they believed in. I always think as a leftist that you don't defeat fascism through electoralism. I wouldn't be a leftist if I believed anything to the contrary. But I mean, the people that really believed in it and that really, want a better America, they went out and voted. So my high spot essentially is just the Democratic voting base, especially not the politicians, because fuck them, they have to earn my trust, as every politician should. But the voting base is definitely going a certain way, and I'm loving to see it. And I think even some megas may slowly be getting disillusioned. I wish they would get disillusioned about other things, but I think again on the fiscal side, they're like, wait, this shit sucks. So you have to start somewhere. And so that's where we're starting. And so yeah, that's my high spot. Who is your high spot?
I'm gonna make that low hanging fruit my bitch. My high spot's Zoran Mamdani.
How does it taste?
Sweet and sexy.
I want to make weird noises on the microphone, but I'm suppressing it
You
so hard.
literally just did that. What do you mean
I,
suppressing?
I could have flexed harder, okay? Let's be grateful for what didn't happen.
You're not showing your real
Ashton.
power level.
Yeah, exactly. Ashton. Again, going back to the whole name thing. Um,
I don't appreciate it.
well, you'll learn to. All right.
I won't.
With that, I was doing the outro. Are you
Well,
done?
you're rushing. I wasn't done glazing Zoran Mamdani.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Yes, please. To glaze our new mayor of New York, who's the
Yeah,
harbinger of communism.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because this dude ran one hell of a campaign and he beat one of the most quintessential establishment Democrats that you can possibly imagine, and an actual right wing nut job or conservative in Sliwa. He beat both of those guys combined. And it's an irrefutable win that he needed. And I'm just really happy for him and the people of New York City to have him and that they decided to choose him. I'm stoked about it. It's awesome. And
Definitely.
and to make this an even stronger high spot, he drew so much national attention that if he wants to run for a higher office at some point, it's a shoe in, baby. Especially, well, I shouldn't say that. He needs to deliver on at least some of his promises that he ran on. But as long as he does that and he keeps a high approval rating within the confines of New York City and he wants to run for higher office at some point, then it will be a lock, baby.
Especially because Kathy Hochul doesn't listen to her constituents anyway, so I don't even know if she wants to be governor.
It's worse. It's worse. She does listen to them and then wants to do whatever they want her not to do, or other way around. She doesn't want to do what they want her to do.
Oh, also, I had to find this image again just because you mentioned Zoran. Shout out to the New York Post for having legendary crash outs throughout his whole campaign, including when he won, showing him wearing a red suit with a black tie, holding a sickle and hammer, saying, "On your marks, get set, Zo. Socialist Mamdani wins race for mayor. The red," and then red with the kind of the R flipped as if to do like fear mongering Apple. Honestly, New York Post, that unironically went hard. Also, Soviet Union stars were shooting in the sky. That image goes hard. You didn't mean for it to. You meant to provoke fear. I laughed my ass off and I loved it. It's one of the best covers you've ever done. So thanks for the crash out, jackass. Anything else you would like to say, good sir?
No.
No. Excellent. All right, then let's get back to our Stranger Things rewatch after this outro. So, guys, be sure to leave the like-ish file out, subscribe, click the bell icon notifications so you miss any of that 12 goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the AWC. And yeah, we will see you again. Is the Marigold show going to be up this week, or are we still going to have to wait another week?
IDK.
I don't know. All right. Well, then, if he doesn't know, fuck it. I'm not gonna try. You guys will know when we're doing stuff through the Discord. We'll ping you guys. We'll let you know. So until then, just stay on your toes. Keep out for those alerts. That's why I tell you also to click the bell icon, just in case you're just surfing YouTube and you're like, "What? TWitWoW's live? I gotta be there." So yeah. And then if you're just here for this because you're like, I like when these guys talk about just life stuff. That's pretty cool. You can catch us here again next Saturday at 10:30. So there you go. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy Sunday football tomorrow for those of you that watch the NFL. And yeah, tune in. Peace out.